Hi, my name is Bradley and today I will be speaking to you briefly about teaching and learning through the use of group work in Stage 5-6 food technology. First of all, I'd like to speak about group work in general. Cooperative learning has long been recognized as a powerful strategy for enhancing deeper understanding in nutrition education. Small group work is important as it empowers individuals or students. It allows them to overcome the isolation and powerlessness by providing opportunities to normalize people's experiences and simplify the problem. When students work cooperatively in peer groups, they can help each other understand the information, support each other in achieving their goals, and give each other ideas and encouragement. In food technology, group work is essential as it opens a window into a real-life experience. If students want to pursue a career in food, then they must know what it is like to work with others in the kitchen, both practically and theoretically. Not only are these group activities or experiences important with the actual preparation of food, but they are equally important for the planning and background work when it comes to food. For example, planning recipes, familiarizing oneself with the kitchen, and organizing and running the kitchen, etc., etc. These skills are vital for students to learn as it prepares them for what is to come in the real world. As teachers, we must encourage students to work in groups or create an environment where this is possible by allowing them to participate in as many practical experiences as possible. An example of a particular teaching strategy in regards to cooperative learning is the Think, Pair, Share strategy. This strategy requires students to get into pairs and discuss the topic, whether it is a question or statement. Usually this should only take a couple of minutes after the lesson. Once students have discussed and collaborated their thoughts and opinions, it is at this point that the teacher selects one of each pair to discuss or share what they've both come up with. Another example of a cooperative learning strategy requires groups of 4. The class is given a topic, for example, the food pyramid, and each group is required to become as familiar as they can by using each other's knowledge. It is up to the teacher, but students may or may not be allowed to use the internet or their textbooks as part of this activity. Once the students have finished this section of the activity, which should take no longer than 5 minutes, the teacher then gives a number from 1 to 4 to each student in every group. The teacher then calls out a random number, for example, 2, and every student that has the number 2 stands up, and the teacher asks a question to each student about the same topic. And in this case, it's the food pyramid. The teacher then continues on to the next topic, for example, use by dates. The students then repeat the process. The main aim of this activity is to ensure that all members of each group are prepared as there is an uncertainty with who will be chosen. There will now be a video that will briefly be talking about a school in America and their success with the use of cooperative and collaborative learning. I think that they bring up some really good points about how important it is in everyday classroom.
Prep School is a 52-year-old school. It was founded by two women who had a strong vision of a place where academics could really thrive. The collaborative teaching and learning that we do here is really distinctive. Individual work can be a great way to master content, but what the group work empowers and kind of enables is a student's cultivation of a certain resilience. How do you look to your neighbor as a resource? How do you test your own theories? How do you understand if you're on the right track or the wrong track? The sort of habits of mind that actually are the underpinnings of deeper scholarship.
We have 45-minute classes, and the math classes meet every day. The kids come in, and they go over the homework in their groups by comparing answers.
I got the square root of b squared plus a squared. Yep.
And then if they're having no resolution, like a problem was too hard for everybody, that's the signal that says that we need to talk about a problem or two as a class.
The thing I like most about the group work is how easy it is to get help if you're stuck on a problem. I mean, you can just ask one of your group mates to help you, and everybody's really ready to lend a hand.
It's these two lines, and then we do the slope formula from 0 to that.
All right, here comes classwork 30. The ones I care most about are 1 and 2.
And then just draw the segment from AB to CD. So just connect those points.
We've designed the classwork problems to be harder than the homework problems. The homework problems tend to be more straightforward, and the classwork problems are much meatier. And so in order for them to actually accomplish them, they have to talk to each other.
For harder problems, usually our group will work together, and we can usually come to a solution just by putting like little pieces of it together.
The best groups talk about the problems before they take pencil to paper. You really tell their faces are directed towards each other. They are, looking at each other's papers, and they're learning so much more. They're learning how to be proactive. They're learning how to depend on their peers.
So in the video we learned about a successful story of a classroom using the collaborative learning to the best of their ability. Even though they weren't learning exclusively about food technology, the same can be applied for any classroom scenario. The video gives evidence of cooperative learning strategies and how it can be effective not just for learning purposes, but also for equipping students with certain skills such as comprehension, taking initiative, people skills, and with these attributes they gain confidence in not only their ability to perform within a learning environment, but also a simulation of what a learning environment can provide. So in conclusion, one final point I would like to raise is that in food technology, students should be involved in group discussions that lead to public commitment to new attitudes and behaviors. When groups of peers are required to make public commitments as part of group work, this contributes to a level of accountability because if one student falls behind, the group pays the price. Once this culture has been achieved within the classroom, considerable behavior change takes place. Individuals who are more publicly committed to their tasks are more resistant to laziness or slack on their position. Now we can see how cooperative learning can be effective in numerous ways, achieving a number of different outcomes both successful within education and life skills that can be used in tertiary education or moreover in their career. So when doing this assessment, I found that the most difficult part was finding the article, as it was a very specific topic, and I found that it was the most time-consuming section and probably the biggest setback that I could find.